Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a very early match preview. We haven't done many of these. I don't think we've done any of these this season on a Thursday night. Usually it's our championship predictions, which was last night. So I hope you enjoyed that one. Anyway, we are going to be talking about Luton versus Sheffield United at Kenilworth Road. I can never say that. Kenilworth Road. We don't have a watch along tomorrow night, because our red half of Sheffield guys, they can't do the night matches, so there won't be a watch along, but there will be a match reaction straight after the game, and it is going to be a special guest, so you're not going to want to miss that one. Anyway, I'll quickly pop up on screen the members, the absolute legendary members. We've had one more that I need to add to this list, so next time this will be slightly different. We might have even some more after that. But we really appreciate everyone being a member. £4.99, as always, to support the boys. It's not a lot, is it? It's not a lot. And it really, really helps us out massively. Also, NordVPN, sponsor the channel. Absolute legends of guys. You can become a NordVPN member by going to www.nordvpn.com/TSUW. Anyway, let's not talk about that anymore. Let's bring Hal in and talk about Luton Town versus Sheffield United. Welcome to the stream, mate. How are you doing today?
I'm all right. We went to this one, didn't we? The last time we played Luton at Kenilworth Road, and it was one of the worst games of professional football I think you and I have ever just sort of sat through or stood through, because it was an away game, obviously.
Yeah, we're talking to a bloke at work about this earlier on, and the main thing that I spoke about was walking through like people's houses to get to the away end, and also seeing people's washing lines, which is always fantastic. Like, who doesn't want to see that? And the third thing that I said was Rhian Brewster managed to get about 4 yards away from goal, try and cross the ball in, and hit the opposite stand, which was a personal highlight.
I think you're being harsh with 4 yards away from goal, but yeah, he did manage to have a shot that went out for a throw in. I do recall that was the only thing really to take from a game, which we will relive
enjoyed ourselves
now. 28th of August it was, 2021, 0-0 United. I mean, started fairly brightly. George Baldock nodded over. He was unmarked at the back post. You said to me at the time, that'll be the best chance of the game. And it was.
I did.
But it fizzled out, didn't it? You know, we had Elijah Adebayo heading off target. Luton came into the game a little bit more. Back then, we weren't sure. I mean, I was. You know, anyone who's regularly watched this channel, I never doubted Wes Foderingham, and he played in this game. And Nick and I weren't quite sure what to make of him, but I was really comfortable with his performance after this. Basham also played, Egan, Davies. We had Baldock, Berger, Norwood, Fleck, Norrington Davis, Sharp and McBurney. The subs that came on were Bogle, Luke Freeman, now at Luton, and as Nick mentioned, Rhian Brewster Baby. The bench was interesting. Ollie Burke, Michael Verrips, our new best friend. You might recall, if you're a regular viewer of this channel, that after that Luton game, Nick and I were hanging around doing a bit of filming, and we met Jack Robinson as he was coming out, and he was full tracksuit. He hadn't been involved. He'd been on the bench. And he was walking away from the team bus and going into Luton Town Centre, which, got to be honest, we were surprised at. And I asked him if he would have a little moment for us, you know, maybe to do a little bit of filming, or maybe just to chat off camera, just so we could say hi and thank him, or a photo op. You know, you just never know. Anyway, he, to say was not interested would probably be an understatement. He just carried on walking, quickened his pace. Got his phone out and said, "I can't do the impression, but
you can.
Sorry, lads, I'm in a bit of a rush." So,
I wouldn't have done that if I were you.
Yeah. Well, I regretted it instantly.
Because he doesn't sound anything like that,
actually. You've heard my Oliver Norwood impression. You talk about bad impressions. Yeah. And then I panicked, as you know, Nick, and I just said, in quite a high-pitched voice, and I don't know why, I just said, "Okay, big fan." And then you started laughing.
It was really awkward. I don't think I initially laughed straight away. I think I waited until he was kind of a few more meters away from us to start laughing, because I didn't want to mug you off completely. Yeah. But it was not a good day. The only good thing that we got from that day, well, maybe two things. One, fan cams. That was one of the best fan cams we've ever had, and it was the first one. And the other thing was probably that's when Prince Abdullah realised we needed better footballers. And that's when he brought in Morgan Gibbs-White. Illiman got his chance. And, we just brought in some slightly better footballers, or in Morgan Gibbs-White's case, a lot better footballers.
Absolutely.
Anyway, as Hull has rushed through, we didn't get to talk about the Blackburn game. But I understand where you were going because we were already talking
on it. Yeah.
But we need to talk about the Blackburn game just for a second. I'll leave you on screen for a second because we'll just have a little quick chat about it. How we were fantastic. We won 3-0. It could have been 14-0, 15-0, something like that. Ollie McBurney got into some great positions, didn't quite finish it off, but it will come. If you're going to continue to get in those positions, you will score goals. And once one comes, more will come.
In off his backside, whatever it takes. And I'll tell you this, Nick, if he is contributing like that, putting himself about, creating chances for others, making goalkeepers have to make saves, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, me too, because something will, even if he has a shot, the keeper parries it and somebody else puts it in. Like, we're getting those chances. We are creating those chances. And I'm loving it. What made me laugh, somebody in the comments of one of our videos, somebody said about Ollie McBurney getting into some great positions and spurning all these chances. Somebody said, Billy Sharp would have scored those chances. And then somebody replied and said, yeah, but would he have got into those positions? Would Billy Sharp have got into those positions?
Yeah, but the whole thing's just ridiculous because he wasn't.
What Billy Sharp does for a living?
But, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. If he'd been involved, it might have been a very, very different game. It's completely pointless speculating like that.
With ankle ligament damage, maybe he wouldn't get into those positions. He probably still would. It's Billy Sharp.
I still think he finishes as well.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there, mate. Anyway, shall we talk about, I don't know where we're going from here. What's the next section?
We haven't done this enough, clearly. Let's jump to team news, and I want your predicted lineup.
Okay, here we go. Let's move across. Now, the predicted lineup will come in a second. I'll quickly just run through some of the kind of team news that we've got. So, obviously, Sharpe, Bogle, Jack O'Connell, Enda Stevens, Jack Robinson, Koulibaly, all long-term injuries. Bogle apparently is coming on very, very well. So hopefully we'll see him before kind of Christmassy time at the end of the year. But let's not rush him back. The team's playing fantastically as of right now. Adam Davies, Ben Osborne, Kieran Clark, all very close to kind of being available back on the grass, as Hecky loves to say. As well as Hecky loves to say, listen, at the start of every single thing that he says. I've picked up on that. You will too now. He says, listen before everything. It's not as aggressive as I just said, but you'll notice it now. Also, we had 3 impact injuries, which were Flekke, Illiman and Dye, and Anel. We're expecting them all to be fine, but you never know. One of those 3 may not be playing, 2 may not be playing, 3 may not be playing, but they're only impact injuries, so we're expecting them to be fine. I think out of those 3, Anel will start because Anel is fantastic. Illiman, we've got loads of players in that position. So if we're not too sure about Illiman, we may not play him. And for John Fleck, he had a fantastic game for me against Blackburn. But we do have James McAtee that can fill in, no problem at all. Bash and Tommy Doyle both back fit. So again, yeah, they'll be on the bench again as they were in the last game. We're very, very excited. Obviously, Rida Kadra started in the last game. I'm not shouting Rida Kadra out for this game. I think he's fantastic. I think he'll come on and play really, really well if he isn't in the starting lineup. But this is my starting lineup. Wes in the goal. Anel, Egan, Norrington Davis, Lowe, Baldock, Norwood and Fleck to stay in there. But like I said, I can see McAtee coming in if Fleck isn't 100%. Sander Berger has to stay in there. He's a very, very important player for us. Illiman, if he's fit, plays there. But again, if Illiman and Dye is not fit enough, he does not play in this game for me. We don't want to risk anything because he is our star boy. What a player he is, and what a goal that second one was against Blackburn. And finally, the final piece of the puzzle, Ollie McBurney. as I've always said, Hal, always said, Ollie McBurney is our greatest striker, I think, in our club's history. Do you not agree?
No, and you've never said that. And you just mentioned... you did, right. Khadra, I thought, I was watching him. Sometimes you watch a game and you pick a player and you just make a really concerted effort to focus on that one player. I did that with Khadra in the Blackburn Rovers game. And I don't think he'll get a lot of praise, but he had a really decent game. It's quite a lot of the off-the-ball stuff that he did. His chasing back, his tracking down, his pressing. Also, with the ball, I actually thought he was pretty good. He's got quick feet. We didn't see that much of him. He wasn't super impressive. I think people have said that Ndiaye, when he came on, obviously did a lot more. But I'd love to see a scenario where we can find a way to squeeze in Khadra, Ndiaye, Sander, Norwood.
You're reading comics,
Doyle, McAtee. And hasn't even mentioned a striker yet.
No, exactly. But Iliman Ndiaye, we all know that he can play that striking role. And I think at some point, if anything happens to Ollie, maybe if he picks up a knock or something, or whether he has a bad few games, Iliman Ndiaye is fantastic in that position, in my opinion. But what I will say about Khadra, if you've watched him all the way through the Blackburn game, Khadra had two men on him a lot of the time. And I think that's because he was playing against Blackburn Rovers who know all about him. But I'm glad you mentioned his chasing, his harrying, his pressure that he was putting on, because he was chasing the goalkeeper down all the time.
And that's because he'll know Kaminsky's stronger or weaker foot, instantly, because he's trained with him. Exactly. He was on him, and he probably knows from training he doesn't like being pressured. And he was on him, and it was great to see.
Yeah, it really was fantastic. I don't think he had the greatest game in the world, but it was exciting, and he took a lot of pressure off other players to kind of play well. And obviously, Iliman Ndiaye coming on and running him ragged. Yeah,
and I'll just take a moment to say that this, Nick, and I've mentioned it before on Twitter if you follow me on there. But my wonderful cousin Abigail passed away, only 49, and I actually was able to take her youngest child, Sam, who's just turned 8, to that game. It was his first ever experience of football, full stop. He's now Blades mad. Iliman Ndiaye is his hero. I bought him everything from the club shop, as you know. And he absolutely loved the entire day. And that was in no small part thanks to a fantastic performance.
Exactly. It's one of the best first games to go to because I don't know if it was on Twitter or real life, but everybody seems to have had a first game of a loss. So it's great to see us win and win well.
Maybe he's going to be good luck. And we might need a bit of luck. I'll look at the Luton side for you now. The Hatters are going to have a few injury problems. James Shea, Harry Cornick, Pelly, Ruddock and Panzu. What a name. Did you ever consider that, Nick, for your own son?
Yes, every day.
Of course. Alfie Doherty, Fred Onyedema, Glenn Rea, all doubts.
Onyedema.
Get it Onyedema, son. Get it to backstick. So Nathan Jones will field a similar squad to the one that won away at Swansea last weekend, where they only had 25% possession. Wow. And managed to win. We know Swansea like to keep the ball, but it's what you do with it that counts. Summer signing, Carlton Morris, the former Barnsley man, should come in from the start after scoring off the bench in that game. Cauley Woodrow, who also moved from Barnsley in pre-season, vying for a place. There's plenty of competition. Elijah Adebayo, who played against us last season, preferred up front so far this season. Former Sheffield United man Luke Freeman will offer attacking support from midfield. Alan Campbell, who I do like. Jordan Clark, maybe he'll be involved, set to partner in that engine room. We shall see. So I think Horvath will play in goal. Then Burke, Lockyer and Potts at the back three. Bree, Campbell, Clark and Bell in midfield. Freeman playing behind a front two of Adebayo and Morris. The referee is David Webb.
Oh, that's
from County Durham. I know. I think it's because I actually left you a proper referee pause there.
You haven't done that all season, which I feel like you're trying to steal the limelight away from me a little bit.
No, what it is I'm thinking I haven't done it all season and our away form is terrible. And if this works, I'll keep doing it for every away game.
Oh, fantastic.
Great. Not that I'm superstitious. So last season, David Webb took charge of 37 matches in all competitions, issuing 122 yellows, 4 reds. He gave 8 penalties. He last refereed the Blades 1-0 away defeat at West Brom. That was on the 11th of this month. That was in the EFL Cup. It's quite rare that a referee takes charge of a game and then the same side so soon after. Not a cracking game, that one, I have to say. I really found it quite dull. Prior to that, he was in charge last season of our 1-0 away loss at Stoke. You might remember Nicky failed to give that cast-iron Stonewall penalty to Reece Norrington-Davis.
Yeah, it should have been 9 penalties then, shouldn't it, really? That was one of the most blatant penalties I've ever seen. We got it on camera. You got it on camera.
Check out the vlog from Stoke away. He was also the man in the middle for the Blades' 4-0 win at home against Swansea and our 1-0 win over Derby, where he did actually give some pretty good decisions in the Blades' way.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't believe you just brought up that Stoke game. We were terrible and we should have had a penalty. Anyway, let's hope this game isn't anything like that. I'm going to roll straight into score prediction, and I've gone a little bit negative in this game. I'm looking more at how bad we are away from home at times, and I've gone for a 1-1. Still a positive result, still a point on the road. And I think if we win every game at home and we draw every game away, we'll be very happy at the end of the season. But I've gone 1-1. Lots and lots and lots of people today seen on Twitter saying that we are going to win this game comfortably. I'm not 100% sure. What are you going for?
Let us know in the comments, whether you're watching this live or later on, what you think the score will be, and tell Nick why he's reading comics. Despite our away form, I think we've had a tricky fixtures list. I think it's even more impressive that we are table toppers. I'm saying the Blades are going to win 2-1 away from home. You heard it here first, unless you've already heard someone else say that.
Yeah, first away win of the season.
Yes, Watford was awful. I thought Middlesbrough, despite their league position, they're going to be up there at the end of it. They'll be fine. They're playing better than their results suggest.
Yeah, they will pick that win up eventually. And when they do, they will go on a run. We all know how good Chris Wilder is as a manager. Well, whether they've got the really good players, we'll see. Jeff, your mate, that's not allowed. That's not allowed.
Well, I'm not allowed mates who watch the channel and who know facts about football.
Knowing you probably shouldn't have mates, but you can have them if you want.
Says one of my best mates.
Right, okay. So finally, player connections, Hal. Do you want to run through a few player connections or 2 player connections?
Go on. I'll give you 2. Matthew Spring, build a statue. What a forgettable player he was. Yeah. He's in the John Hunt mould, which is harsh because I thought both of them should have been really good players, and they were at previous clubs. Didn't really work out.
We've had a lot of them, haven't we?
Oh, we've had a fair few, yeah. John Joe O'Toole. We'll stop with that. Anyway, another player that played for the Blades and Luton. He actually seemingly played for everyone, but a player that we actually really took to our hearts, loves a celebration, Martin Craney.
He's a weird one that barely played any games for us, but we absolutely love. It's great. I love it. There's also one that we've already mentioned, which is Luke Freeman. For obvious reasons, we're going to be playing football against him. And one thing that I will say is I've seen a quote somewhere that Luke Freeman is enjoying the love that he's getting from Luton. I don't know whether that's a bit of a snipe at us, but if you're playing well for a team, they're gonna love you.
We did, Nick, at Luton. Remember at the end of the game?
We did.
We gave them a lot of love.
So many people on that fan cams video were saying we need more players like Luke Freeman. And we didn't see that was probably his best game for United.
Yeah. And if he's going to say that he didn't get the love from United fans, well, in the one game you played really well, every Blade in that away end was singing your name. So I don't really know what more we could have done. By the way, Kingsley Black, my mate, came to my wedding. Great shout, James. And I'll put it on Twitter, but I'll just say it at the end of this. For those asking, I am moving away. I am leaving the country. I am going to Cyprus. It should not impact. It should not impact the channel. Nick just won't be able to see me in person. But we've actually got the Reading game planned together. And I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, we are very excited for that one. I'm going to spend quite a lot of time together for that one. So I will cry later on. Don't worry. I'm only joking.
We'll have a little cuddle and we'll have a little cry.
One last thing I'm going to say before we leave, everybody. James Stribley, absolute legend. You won't know why he's a legend just yet because nothing's been confirmed, but get ready for it.
I've just said I'm going. You just said James is a legend. You don't know why. It makes it sound like he's my replacement.
Yeah, it's got nothing to do with that.
All right, well, you're already a legend, James.
I've got a different replacement in mind. James Tribblett, absolute legend. Like I said, we've got some exciting things coming up, and James has helped us with that. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. Loads of people in the stream. I absolutely love it. Let us know what you think the game's going to pan out to be in the comments, whether you're watching it live, whether you're watching it later on. And I will see you for a match reaction. Have a great one.